Beginning of this year, I made the incredibly difficult decision to end my 7-year relationship with someone who is a great person and who I have nothing but great things to say, but I just knew we were not aligned to last long term. And the realization that I knew we needed to end things, that in and of itself was probably one of the hardest things I've ever experienced in my entire life, let alone the actual conversations leading up to the breakup and the actual breakup conversation. Like, that was excruciating. I went through this experience. There were very few people in my life who had gone through a breakup similar to this one, where the person that they're with is a really good person. These are 5 things that I wish I knew before ending that relationship, in hopes that this will help one of you who's in the same spot. Number 1, even though I was the one who ended things and I grieved a lot of the relationship while I was still in the relationship, the actual process was not at all without pain. For the first, I want to say at least a week, I was barely sleeping, barely eating, and every single time I would go to sleep or wake up, I would cry. Guilt that came with ending a relationship with someone who is such a good person really is what ate at me, and honestly continues to eat at me from time to time. Number 2, I knew and I know that I made the right decision, and despite being really sad, I also felt a lot lighter because the weight that I was carrying from the analysis paralysis being in that relationship was gone. That said, there's still times where I miss parts of myself and parts of that relationship, and that is very normal. That doesn't mean you made the wrong decision. Number 3, I had to be very, very disciplined with myself right after the breakup. I knew the healthiest thing for both of us to heal would be to go completely no contact. And so even though I wanted to text him and check in and see how he was doing and say that I miss him, I didn't, and I haven't talked to him since, and that has really helped me heal, and I hope it's helped him too. Number 4, my best friend Sophie was literally my lifeline during this process. She had gone through kind of a similar breakup situation, and I was texting her constantly, just like telling her how I'm feeling and like checking in to see if what I was feeling was normal. And so if you're going to end things with someone you are very serious with, you need that support system. Lastly, number 5, old patterns will repeat themselves if you have not fully healed from your last relationship, and if you've gotten crystal clear on what you want and deserve in your next relationship.
Man, shout out to the content creator. There's nothing wrong with this video, right? I think that people have seasons that they go through together, and I believe that when you feel like it's that time, it's that time, you know. And I can feel her on that, man. Like, in the situations of, man, this is heavy, because I think we all have had one of these relationships where it was long term and you felt like, man, this is my person, this is the person I'm supposed to be with. And you look up one day, you're not with them, you know? And yeah, it's definitely a process. So I can relate to all 5 things that she said. I'm not going to go back through them again if you watch the video again, but I will highlight the biggest thing, right? Is when you initially break up with the person. I think she said that was number 3. The pain and the regret, and having to be disciplined when it comes to not reaching out. And I understand it. I totally do. And especially if they reach out to you, having the discipline to not respond, and just allowing that process of emotions to pour out. It's almost like you have to drain yourself a little bit of those tears, and yeah, allow yourself to just deplete. I'm not saying deplete from life. I mean deplete from that connection, right? If you guys are pouring into each other inside a relationship, whatever you poured into each other, you have to let that drain out. And it's not an overnight thing, right? Because it's like it's almost like you don't want to release it, you know, because you know that pain of it's like something flowing out of you. You know, it's like you get cut and you can see the blood rushing out of you. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that feeling, but it's painful. And but the only way, if you guys been cutting each other and y'all bleeding out, you have to allow that process of healing. You have to allow that. You have to let things drain out. So I totally understand what she's saying, and that's a long time, man. I think she said 7 years. That's a long time. That's a long time to be with somebody. But you know, if you feel like that's what it is, that's what it is. You know. But the crazy part about this video, right, is I don't see a lot of men coming online who are leaving their relationships. I don't see a lot of men. It's mostly women. That's what I've seen. Again, I'm not saying that there aren't men out there doing this the same as she's doing, but most of the videos out here that I see are the women stepping away. But you know what else I see too is reaction videos from them same women saying, "Damn, I regret it." You know, if it's months later or a year later, like, "Damn, that was probably the worst decision that I should have made. I should have found a way to make it work." That's what you see. You know what I'm saying? Or you may see some. It was one video out there where a girl was like, one of her best friends divorced or left, you know, a relationship, and she didn't come online. The friend who left the guy didn't come online, but she told her, and the friend went online and told, like, man, she told me behind closed doors that she regretted it and she wished she can get back with him. She seen him with the new girl, and she's devastated, right? She just wish she wouldn't have made that mistake. She wish she can get back with him because she understand what she lost. That's a lot of times where I've seen that what happened with a lot of women. You understand? So again, that may not be her situation. It seemed like she's really thinking through this scenario on what just happened and understanding what happens after those breakups and the different reactions, the different processes, the pain, like she said, the regrets, the things you go through, all the different stages of that breakup after it that you go through. It seemed like she's processing that very well. So again, I'm not saying that she would regret it, anything like that, but I'm just saying from what I've seen, a lot of women regret it. Especially if they always, oh, he was a great guy, you know, he was special, but something was missing. And I get that. You know, listen, here's the honest God truth. I come on these videos, right? And I do reactions to a lot of these videos in a certain theme. The God honest truth, man, is people can live their life how they want to live, right? As long as it don't affect the broader community. Like, do your thing. I did another reaction video about a lady having a lot of, I think she had like 10 kids, right? Hell, have a minute, you can have 20 kids. That was something I was saying. But don't allow that to affect the community, right? Just to let it affect your situation. So anyway, with that being said, shout out to the content creator again. If you got any value from this video, hit the like button, subscribe, you know, share this video off anybody who may need to hear this message, because it was a great message from her. You know, especially if I think as a man you could take some stuff away from this, and women, obviously, right? So with that being said, I appreciate y'all. Much love. Peace.